What is the flow? So that we can define the loops. What is the flow?
Something that keeps the stuff.
Okay. The flow is evolving.
Yeah.
Evolution. That's the name of the game. So as you were playing, you evolved or you went back. Right? So the flow is evolution. With the first strategy, what were we playing? What is the loop that you were playing between the stock and the flow? What is the loop in there? We had what? Balancing flow. We had reinforcing flow. Balancing, why balancing? Remember, systems thinking asks you to think of it from the overall perspective. Okay? What is the overall perspective? Everybody started as an egg, and after 5 minutes, we had 31 Elvises. All right? If it was balancing loop, everybody would have remained an egg. It has some interconnections that have negative feedback, right? But it was a feedback loop, right? So you had two. It was feedback loop, not balancing loop. Feedback loop, positive and negative, right? Positive feedback loop, you were going up. Negative, going down. Okay? So how does that come back to your projects? How are you going to think about your projects? What are you going to be focusing on? What did you focus on? After you learned this thing here, what did you focus on? Did you focus on the stock, or did you focus on the feedback? You understood that there was a strategy to get faster here, right? What was the strategy? Get an Elvis, and that Elvis plays everybody else by losing, so everybody converts faster to become an Elvis. How does that relate to your projects? What are you looking at? This afternoon, Dr. Sonny is going to help you to narrow down that focus.
Really?
To understand,
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
understand what you should be looking at. Okay? So from all the problems, from all the materials, from all the resources, from all the things that are happening in your projects, which is the one that you need to look at? Right? What are the interactions you need to be looking at? You cannot look at every single thing. You need to consider the effects on a systems level, but you cannot look at every single thing because you're not going to be able to finish in a couple of weeks. There's a thing you need to focus on. How to find that, that's the part that you're going to cover today. Now, there is this thing over here. Let me go back. Everybody remembers this part right here, right? Was the last lecture online before you came here? So how do we use systems thinking to understand the loops and the stock in value stream? How do we do that? So every single unit that you have here becomes part of value creation, right? So the interactions between these steps are adding or detracting for value creation. Isn't that true? Okay? So what are the connectivities that you need to focus on here from a systems perspective in order to make this a more efficient system? How many of you have developed already value stream map for your projects? or some kind of process flow chart. And what about the rest?
Can I quickly show them something? Here's what we want you to do, so that you're not confused. You have a value stream map, and I'll show you this afternoon. Okay? When I have a value stream map, the first thing that you are gonna do is what? Identify what? The process. The process there. So what in the process needs to be fixed? There are two things at this moment that can be fixed, okay? Again, I'm looking at the flow. You know, you can fix the flow, you can fix the variation, or if you can fix the disruption. If I was looking at process time, let's assume I want to increase throughput. I look at the process time here, I look at the process time here, I look at the process time. Not the theoretical process time, but the actual process time, right? And I can do two things. I can focus in on the bottleneck. You know what is the bottleneck? Bottleneck is that part. Now, if I look at the bottleneck, I look at this as pre-bottleneck. I look at this as post-bottleneck. I look at this as management, and I look at this as support. You see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? Now, in order for this to be successful, does it need this connection? If parts are not coming here on time, and that's the connection, I need to have this connection, yes? If I am finishing parts, but they're not being produced, I need to have this connection. If I have material that's not coming, I should need support from material. If it's maintenance that I need maintenance. I need support. And there's management that says, I got this, you need to fix this. This is what you need to fix. Watch this. Stock, possible stock. Stakeholder, 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 stakeholder. How many stakeholders do I have? 7, 6, 7, whatever, right? What if their stocks were not the same? What if you created an improvement here that made this, and this negative? You already know that you're going to fail. So you don't have to do this. 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 But the critical links, interconnections, if this is very important, you must consider this stock and this stock. If parts are not being brought in, maintenance is not being done, you must consider that connection with the thing. And so therefore, those are the stocks that you have to consider. Are we okay? Okay, for example, your happiness is dependent upon not every individual you know. Name for me the critical people at this moment that define your happiness. All the people.
Family.
Are you sure? No, watch, I'm not saying. At this moment, name for me 3 people or 3 connections that make you happy. Determine the greatest impact on your happiness.
Dr. Sony and Enrique.
Very good. Right now, you fail or pass. Okay? Very good. Right now. Why? I'm either going to pass you or I'm going to fail you. All right, who else? Huh?
All of us.
Teammates?
All of us. Not all of you. You don't care about everybody in here. Who do you care about? Point out one person.
My team member.
No, not even your team members. Name one person. You already pointed her out. There you go.
Women that they're Vanessa.
Oh. Watch this. 1, 2. Who else? What if your mommy said, I'm not sending you any more money? Very important, would it not be? You see, not everybody is important. Similarly, not every individual connected to this is important. Once you understand that process, bottleneck, go to the bottleneck. That's very important. What constrains the bottleneck? What constrains the bottleneck? What constrains the bottleneck is either things that are not brought in, or material that is not produced, or management that's not producing the the resources. Those are the stocks that you have to consider. Fair enough? Are we okay? Enrique, should we be nice? See, watch what I'm doing between your stock and my stock. I wanted you to think that we're nice. Oh, please go have lunch. Watch this, 5 minutes early. Don't clap, don't clap. No.
¿Quieres tu bolita?
1:30 back here.